I have heard that this God guy means real business. Shit.
This is Batman speaking.
It is.
Good. Batman.
Apparently, he has a connection with all of us. He says he loves the world so much that he is going to give his son. This new superhero is here to save the world from the villain, Sin.
Which, to be fair, does sound like the Batman villain.
I'm gonna have to kill myself when this is over.
You really channeled Christian Bale Batman, which I appreciate.
That's what other Batman is there? Come on, man.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Grown Up Christian. I'm Casey.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jeremiah.
The
I'm
confidence.
April.
Yeah, I didn't know which order we were supposed to be going in. I know that I'm
I figured
last
I was-
normally. Oh,
I figured I was last.
You guys
I know,
arrived
I'm
at the door at
normally
the
last.
same time and then went, oh, nope, you.
You're
Like
like
a
the people.
homeschool volleyball match.
That is homeschool volleyball.
I have
all the way.
personal experience with that. So
It's like when you
You
come
have to put
a
your
stop-
hands together and you have to clasp them to your chest too and look down at the floor.
you just
Look
try
up.
not to get it in homeschool volleyball.
yeah, like if
No.
someone moves and you move at the same time, you both are just like, oh, and you both go back and the ball hits the ground. And then that happens over and over again for about 3 hours.
And that's That's because you've been taught submissiveness and passivity for a decade of your life.
Yeah.
no, I think it's just we're not used to like interacting with large groups of other kids. You're used to
Yes.
interacting with like 2 or 3 at
Also,
a time.
yes.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
reasons.
in my
for-
family, it was a little more than that, but
That's true. In mine too. I didn't remember how many siblings you had, but it was 6 of us.
6.
So, oh, okay, yeah.
So
A lot of
Yep.
kids. A lot of kids. It's
But
crazy to me
although-
that parents homeschool that many kids.
well, I guess it makes sense. Like you'd want to get out of the way of the little children, so you don't stomp them to death.
no,
and
I was
you
one of
just
the
apply
biggest
that to
ones.
everyone.
No, so that didn't actually bother me at all. I was the oldest brother, so it's
Oh.
fine to run them over. They're durable. They're totally fine.
He liked
Jeremiah
to be
would
the
think.
best
into
one
the
on the
kitchen
team.
like Majin Buu. Majin Jeremiah.
As normal, I don't get your references, Casey. I believe they're funny, but I don't understand it.
I understand them.
You have to listen to 30 hours of podcasts a week while driving to understand some of Casey's references.
Yeah. Or you can watch Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
Did you
that
guys
would
not watch Dragon
That's-
Ball
that's
Z back
about-
in the day?
I was
we
never
were-
a
allowed
few
to watch
hundred
Dragon
hours.
Ball Z. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's too much. I've tried to get into anime like 3 or 4 different times, and I usually
No.
get about a half episode in, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't think this is for me. Like, I don't think it's a quality problem. I think I just hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Anime does nothing for me. My foster son put on One Piece is like the huge one that's like getting now it's even bigger because
Oh
they
my
did the
gosh.
Netflix show about it. But like, I heard a bunch about it. It's been on forever. There's like over 1,000 episodes. I'm like, it must be.
Oh man.
It must be like maybe a top tier anime or something. And he just had it on in the living room while I was making dinner, and I was just like, what is this? This is insane. And he's like, it's One Piece. And I was like, this is One Piece. This is the show that people think is amazing. I was like floored by how much I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I think being in the cosplay realm, I think there was a time period where Casey and I were like, okay, I need to consume every type of quote unquote nerd media in order to be seen as a relevant and well-rounded human being and to be taken seriously. So we tried. There's a couple anime shows that we liked, or animes, oopsie. But for the most part, it is not for me. It is too screechy.
Yep.
What's one that was like, this is fine or this is okay?
Death Note was really good.
Oh. Death Note was good. There was one screechy character that was annoying, but that's pretty good for an anime. There's usually at least like 3 or 4.
Is Castlevania anime, or is that just like one of the ones that
Is that
doesn't get a
I
American?
think
thing?
so. It
Sometimes they
looks
like are
anime.
in the anime style, but they're
know.
like, it's not real anime, and everyone just acts
Yeah,
like they're
that's-
the biggest loser for not knowing the difference between real and fake
That's
anime.
the thing I learned. Like, if it's made in America, it's not anime, and I'm just like, I don't care.
I've never watched one of those movies. You know the it's like Studio Ghibli or whatever.
Ghibli.
Jigglypuff. Yeah.
Ghibli.
Oh.
I've never
Studio
watched one
Ghibli.
of those movies, but people just love them.
I actually did watch one with my friend Tegan, and it was cute. It was like a low key sort of anime thing.
I don't even know what that studio is. So
Like
I'm out.
Spirited Away, Howl's
Yeah, like
Moving
Spirited
Castle.
Away.
Those ones.
Totoro. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Is it that too?
And what's the one that we literally just watched? The one
Kiki
about
serves divorce papers.
Yeah, we watched that one.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Yeah, those ones they're like, they call them like cozy sort of stuff, kind of
Cozy. Okay.
thingy.
That sounds all
Yeah.
right. I just don't like it
So-
when like their mouth gets really big and the little water droplets come out of their eyes and they're like "Bah, bah, 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 bah."
So you
It's
don't
like
anime. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
you either are down for like anime antics or you're not, I think.
Yeah. I think
And it's too much.
I think
It's
the female characters get me too, because they're either like brash and loud and annoying, which I don't like, or they're like, as Taylor Swift would put it, a sexy baby.
Yeah,
they're like
walking sex dolls is all that they are. And
yeah, they act like babies, but they have giant cans and they have a body of a 12-year-old.
I was at some friend's house
creepy.
years ago, and they were trying to convince me that like not all animes are weird. That's where the conversation was starting.
I've had people try to
Yeah.
convince me of that too.
Well, the one they decided to play for me, I don't even remember what it was, but it had the sexy baby character in it, and they were explaining that like she only appears to be 14. She's actually has the soul of a dragon that's 1,000 years old. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't
move.
need
They
any more
always do
information.
that.
No.
yeah, that's like a trope now. Everybody makes
I
fun of
see
that.
it.
part
I
of
know.
See
I
through
couldn't
it.
believe it because I thought like surely that's a joke, and then they were actually explaining it that way. And they could just tell by my face. They were like, "Okay, like it's a little problematic," and I was like, "Yeah, it's really
You're
seems like it."
justifying thinking about 14-year-olds.
There's a lot of like like I don't know. There's a lot of noise in anime too. Like
Yeah.
they
So
never
busy.
just like look at something and notice it. It's always like oh, it's like, oh, he's afraid. Those are afraid noises. Oh.
Oh my god.
It's always like that, or I
We
don't
might
know.
have to edit that part out. I think
Yeah, so all of Casey's
gonna get
objections are
flagged
big
racism.
You're gonna get demonetized for that.
I'm sure YouTube's copyright scrubber will pick that up and source it to some sort of. It'll source it to like, My Hero Academia or something like that.
Is that a sound you're familiar with, April?
What? A sound?
That's a sound you're really familiar with, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Casey likes to make it to annoy me. To remind me why I don't delve into the anime community very much.
I go low with my love groans. I go,
Oh my god.
Guttural, real guttural.
mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
oh.
Do 3 or 4
Oh,
more.
it hurts.
That wasn't enough. Okay, great.
He likes to make tough guy noises.
So it's supposed to sound like
Yeah.
a hernia. That's what you're describing.
Yeah.
yeah. It's been interesting learning to survive in the desert.
He heard someone do a deadlift once and was like, I can make that sound too.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Anyway, it's
Um,
Christmas time.
can I? Yes. So I have some Christmas content for us today that I think is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And I found the first thing while sourcing the second thing. It was an article on churchleaders.com that says, and this is okay. You'll see. Never mind. The title of the article is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's Plot to Ruin Christmas and America.
Written by Kirk Cameron.
And it has a
No, this
picture
is
of this
recent.
guy. Yeah, Kirk hasn't made news in a minute.
No, he was interviewed by some QAnon guy recently about pedophilia in Hollywood.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll have to follow up on
Yeah,
that.
It was
Anyway.
close to that 30 years ago.
Yeah, not trying. not on the end. He's more on the victim end of it 30 years ago, but sure.
Oh God.
Oh, no
No, that
kidding.
concept. No. I was just making a joke. I was keeping the bit going. That's not in the interview. Kirk base. All right, so I feel like now we have to just finish this up. I'm sorry for derailing it. He pretty much he could tell, like you could tell that Kirk wasn't aware who this guy was who was interviewing him before he was interviewing him, and so he just politely was like, "Well, I didn't really see any of that, but Hollywood is evil," and just kind of launched into his normal spiel. But
Oh no!
Well, I don't know that Satan uses it in that way, but let me tell you, he definitely uses it.
Anyway,
Well,
I'm sorry,
so
Casey.
this is an article. It's written about a guy named Andrew Torba. Is that a name that you guys are familiar with?
No.
Mm-mm.
So he's an ultra conservative web commentator.
Self-proclaimed
why.
ultra.
I don't think he would object to that terminology. And it starts off by saying that he turned on the radio a few weeks ago and discovered a secret war on Christmas.
Oh, this is a covert operation.
Yeah,
Real,
this is like the Nick Fury spinoff of
yeah,
War on
real
Christmas.
It's a real insurgency.
So he says it's not the one fought by, quote, libs on the sides of Starbucks cups or in city buses' destination displays reading Happy Holidays, but by Rudolph, Frosty, and a few mostly deceased Jewish songwriters. See where this is going?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
If you have to call out that they're Jewish, you know this is going into an interesting area.
I'm impressed he said Jewish instead of just like, globalist songwriters or like tried to dance around it. He's just going with the hard J right out of
He's
the
a
gate.
warrior. That's why.
He's dark
Yeah.
MAGA.
He's battle hardened. Says in a November 21st episode of his Parallel Christian Society podcast, Torba, founder of the alt-right social media platform Gab and co-author of, listen to this book title, Christian Nationalism, a biblical guide for taking dominion and discipling nations, expressed
Discipling.
his dismay at
Sure.
learning that many popular Christmas songs were written by American Jews.
Doesn't he really? He could have just called the book Manifest Destiny the sequel, and it would have been just as good.
Manifest Destiny 2. Camps are cool.
It says, is drawing mainly from a review of A Kosher Christmas in the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, dating to 2012, Torba recounted how many of the season's most popular songs, White Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Surprised
Let
White
It Snow,
Christmas doesn't do it for him.
and A Holly Jolly Christmas, to name a few,
Oh.
were written by Jews. Those songs, Torba claimed, were part of a conspiracy to kick Christ out of Christmas that turned a celebration of the birth of Jesus into a winter holiday with room for Jews.
Oh my
Knowing
God.
this,
He doesn't even care about
could
atheists.
you? And equipped with this knowledge now, how could you allow your household to be filled with this music? Tobra asks his listeners.
What music? Jewish music?
Like
I think
Rudolph music.
He
It's-
denies that Hanukkah's a holiday. Just doesn't exist to him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's got plenty of opinions on that. Well, wait. Okay, hang on. Yeah, we're getting ahead now.
Oh,
Torba's suspicions were also raised when he found that, along with ruining Christmas, Jews in America celebrate Hanukkah, and that American presidents have acknowledged the Jewish holiday.
How dare they?
Can you imagine?
how dare you acknowledge things that exist parallel to you?
Has
in
he
your
heard
life?
about Kwanzaa yet? Is that coming up?
Oh, he's gonna say that was just made up by a person, as if like other things weren't.
So here's his quote on it. Wow. Incredible. Incredible how this happened, he said. In a Christian nation, it takes this relatively minor Jewish holiday and turns it into the prominent holiday that is celebrated in our White House. Isn't that something?
It's something.
He's got a lot of like poignant takes on
Yeah,
things.
it's funny because like, he acts like it's taking over in the sense that people who aren't Jewish celebrate that holiday, and like, there, it makes sense if he wants to be angry at like, it's stupid. But I can follow the logic pattern if he wants to be angry at like making Christmas like just a cultural holiday that's devoid of any religious meaning. And that's like the classic thing to rail against, which sure, like if you want to go down the road, I could see why you would take the steps to get there, but um shouldn't he be more concerned with like atheists and secular people bastardizing his holiday than people celebrating people of a different faith and only that faith exclusively celebrating a holiday that they really have they don't interrupt on Christmas traditions in any way at all. It's pretty an
I feel
interesting
like you
take.
missed the part where I said Jew.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
have
it
to.
makes you
Yeah, you
very
got to say
uncomfortable.
when you say it like that. I hear it differently. Yeah,
My gosh.
So this is like such a classic like evangelical nut like thing. This is such a great like evangelical tactic for making a point
it's
about
like
what
the
you're
white
trying to
Jesse Lee
say.
Peterson.
Exactly. This is Torba cited the Haaretz article, which quoted the late American novelist Philip Roth describing "White Christmas" as a song that took Christ out of Christmas. It's just they always like manage to dig up like one guy who said something that like somehow makes their point in like this most roundabout way, and it's therefore indicative of like this
Oh yeah.
enormous
Yeah.
conspiracy to like destroy your family and take your children away.
It's like
Does he have
your white relatives quoting Candace Owens.
Does he have any
Yeah.
thoughts on Mariah Carey writing "All I Want for Christmas Is You" and talking about how all you should want for Christmas is Jesus?
Oh, I bet you
Menorah
there's a sermon
Carey?
about that.
You what?
Menorah Carey?
Oh, Casey. Oh,
Quote, people who hate and reject Jesus Christ and whose faith and identity centers around that rejection wrote subversive songs to de-Christ Christmas, he said. This is a problem and Christians deserve to know about it so they can adjust their listening habits during the Christmas season accordingly.
There's such an
Which
irony to this, like their belief in that, like Christ is all powerful and coming back to judge everybody with a sword and slaughter his enemies, and then being like, they left his name out of a song, and that ruined everything for me.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
like you can't
stupid.
That's so true.
it's like you can't enjoy anything. Like you can like compartmentalize almost. It's like, yeah, I can celebrate this as Jesus' birthday, but I can also enjoy Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
just do the
Like you
same
can
compartmentalization you do when you're buying gifts, setting up a tree,
yeah.
doing all of the other carols that don't mention Jesus, like the 300 different work-focused holiday parties we all have to go to and
Oh
don't
my god,
enjoy. Like
that's the real
compartmentalize.
Christmas ruiner. Work
I
Christmas
those are
parties.
all coming up this week for me. I have 3 more days of work left for the year, and there's Christmas parties on every single one of them, and I am not looking
Oh,
forward to it.
Ooh, we
It,
just had our Christmas party last night, and it was what it was like.
it was
It was called
Western
like
themed.
yeah, they called it like Jingle Bells and Blue Jeans or something like
No,
that.
it was like rhinestones and something.
did you wear a bolo tie?
He
I
did.
did.
Hell
With
yeah,
a
dude.
C on it.
For
What
Christmas or
for
Casey?
Christmas?
Yes. No, for Christ.
Oh,
Oh,
It's for all of those things.
I was thinking of a different c word, but that's fine.
You're always thinking of that C word.
It's a funny
Yeah,
word.
what is with that?
It's because it's so funny. I know it
Cheese?
rubs some people the wrong way, but it
Jeez.
is. Oh,
Got my mind on my cheese and my cheese on my mind.
well, you are Midwestern.
I do love though that like he literally like his explanation of Judaism is so funny. People who
the
hate and
oldest
reject
religion.
Jesus Christ and whose faith and identity centers around that rejection. That's all it
Unbelievable.
is,
Okay.
really, when you think about it.
A
That's it.
100% accurate explanation of what Judaism is.
But as though everything else that isn't Christian isn't that. That's what's fun. It's like if you're not Christian, you're rejecting that belief. But he's just gonna blame the Jews for being The problem, it's crazy when I don't know about you guys, but I'm guessing it was pretty similar, similar upbringing where it's like it within like growing up Christian. I never would have heard a single Christian denigrate the Jewish faith. That would have been like
Oh yeah,
scary.
not at
No.
all.
They
Yeah.
were like so pro. It was like it was very much the God's chosen people, and if you asked them how that worked, they would really have a hard time like dancing around it because it's like, well, Christians are but Jews, like they didn't really know how to explain it and how to like reconcile the New Testament with like the Jews being God's chosen people in the Hebrew Bible. So you're just like, but there was a fondness and there was a reverence and respect for the Jewish faith, and it's
Yeah,
so
because
interesting to
Jesus
be an
was
adult and see that. Like, I'm guessing this is. I mean, it has to have always been around because anti-Semitism's a tale as old as time. But in like these extreme threads of Christianity, I never heard that, saw that in any way, and it was like if
I
you
don't
didn't
know. There was
support the Jewish people or Israel, it was like you might not even be a true Christian. It was like taking
I
that
didn't even hear
seriously.
people like supporting Israel that much. It was mostly just supporting the Jewish people. Like and it could have just been the small community I came from. I'm sure there were other groups that were much more pro-Israel the state, but yeah, it was just the Jewish people.
I don't know that I ever sensed any sort of reverence for like the Jewish faith.
Casey didn't know what Jews were till he was like 18.
you learn about them right after plant reproduction.
Yeah. I knew what Newt Gingrich told me, and that was good enough.
Casey was listening to a World War II history podcast and was like, "Who were these troublemakers? I need to read more about them."
He's like, I grew up with bolo ties and revisionist history around Native Americans. I didn't even know who the Jews were.
I had a lot to learn when I met Casey. I was like, what? What is a bolo? I have no idea what that is.
Cultural appropriation, if you ask some people. You a cultural
Yeah, were you guys?
appropriator, Casey?
Oh no. Bolo ties are American institutions.
I just had them through Royal Rangers, so I didn't really know anything about them other than Royal Rangers.
Oh,
I
did
don't
they
think
have
I could
bolo
wear one of
ties?
those.
Yeah, we didn't wear regular ties. Well, regular ties were with like the dress uniform, the regular uniform that you'd wear each Wednesday night. It
That
was a
you wore
bolo
those with your
tie,
BDUs?
pretty much.
And they
So, and
did you
you'd get a different color, like when you move to each like new class, there'd be a different, like a red one, and then a deep brown one, and then a green one.
Grab
like
your bolo
belts in
ties,
karate.
boys. Today's a live fire drill.
I don't know what any of that is.
Royal Rangers is Assemblies of God Boy Scouts.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh,
It fucking
like
rules.
Awana
Every time we get
something?
into
Yeah,
every time we've
it's
gotten into it, it's been great.
yeah, the bottom, like the lowest class or two of Royal Rangers is really
Oh, it's a
similar to
class
Awana's.
system.
And then
Okay,
and then it goes in more of the Boy Scouts direction as you get older. The camping and
interesting.
life skills revolving around being in the woods and all that stuff.
Man, I would have enjoyed that when I was younger, but
There
back
was
then the girls weren't allowed.
there was a girls' version, and I forget what it was called because no one at our church wanted to do it because it sucked. It was pretty much like the homemakers class, and none of the girls
that makes
they enjoyed it
sense.
up till they were
That
about
checks
like
out.
well, they enjoyed it up till they were like 8 or 9 years old because I mean it is fun
Yeah.
to get together on a Wednesday night and you're like baking bread and sewing stuff and whatever and like that. I mean that's not fun, but it just they didn't really have a progression path past that point, and the Royal
Mm,
Rangers are like, we're going to build bigger fires and survival shelters and go camping all the time and like Pinewood Derby races. And like, that's objectively more fun.
Assemblies
Yeah.
of Gods was just like, when girls turn 12, we can cut out like the fire making class and just go straight to like Le Mans.
Yeah.
It was like
Until-
around 8 or 9. They remove your ability to use thimbles during sewing class to up the ante and see how tough you are.
Until we hit our 30s, and then we're like, you know what's really awesome? Baking bread and sewing.
exactly.
I do a lot more
I
of
want to
that
be able
than
to choose when I do it, though. That's the thing.
That's the key. I haven't made a survival shelter in a really long time. I've done a lot more baking than I have doing survival camping.
I will say though, you got to hand it to the Rangers, dude. Swapping the neckerchief out for bolo ties that's the move.
That's a great
awesome.
move. I want to see. I've been seeing. I think bolo ties are coming around. Like I know regionally, they've been popular in certain areas of the country, but I'm seeing them more frequently in dress attire.
Okay. Yeah, see, I never saw the only person I ever saw wearing a bolo tie was my grandfather, and he was from North Carolina. So,
That doesn't
other
seem
than
like a
that,
very cowboy place either.
I
No, but
guess not.
hey, you could
He
be a
was a
cowboy
farmer.
anywhere.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
He
think
was
it's
like a
exclusively a cowboy thing.
that's where it
yeah.
started because they stole it from the Native Americans.
Casey, I feel like this wasn't the point of where you were
No.
going with this story.
Yes. Tell me more about this esteemed author.
While I look up the
Well, okay,
history of
We
the
so
have
bolo
that's
so
where
many
ties.
the
other
article
incredible things to get through tonight.
so the article turns at that point, and they say, okay, the next section, because this kind of took me down a rabbit trail that was really interesting. Jonathan Sarna, professor of American Jewish history at Brandeis University, I got to be pronouncing that wrong, suggested Christian nationalists such as Torba might want to do a little reading about American history. Firstly, he pointed out, Christmas was not really a part of America's founding. Quote, the Puritans were opposed to Christmas, Sarna said. And this is where it gets interesting. In 1659, leaders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony approved the penalty for keeping Christmas, which was a literal piece of legislation that imposed fines on those who feasted or refused to work on the holiday. It wasn't until German immigrants brought Santa Claus, Christmas trees, and songs like Silent Night with them that Americans took up Christmas with gusto. And
No
so I
way.
started
Is this
looking at
true?
this.
Is this a real
Yeah,
professor?
apparently
Okay,
so.
it's a real
Yeah.
professor. This wasn't gonna be like a bait and switch of like a professor of not history saying things that aren't true. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is
Sam just wasn't sure that they let Jews be professors.
Yeah. Oh my
it's like not
god.
in my state. This can't be
Okay,
Massachusetts.
The Massachusetts Bay Colony. Yeah, we started it all here.
dude, they're a feature in this story. The
Have you guys
Puritans
seen Plymouth
sound
Rock?
so fun. What does it look
Oh,
like?
Plymouth
It's
Rock?
a very boring rock. It's not
It's
that big.
is it?
it's
I was
about
gonna say,
this
how big
big.
is it?
This big. If I'm making a circle with my arms and touching my fingertips, it's maybe that big.
It's like
So
a
like
manhole
18
cover.
inches.
Yeah.
Like the size of a medium exercise ball.
Yeah.
Oh
There's a
my gosh.
cage around it, and then it's like in a with like a it's like in a pit sort of thing. It's kind of like they built a little tower around it, but you can walk around. You can walk around it and you look over the ledge. It's all fenced off, and then over the rock is a gate, so people don't like chisel chunks of it off.
We also have no
Allegedly, it
reason to
was
believe.
bigger, but people maybe chip parts of it off. But it was never a big rock. It was always
Hilarious.
Okay.
We
Just
also
they would
don't know that
actually.
that's the actual Plymouth Rock, or that there ever was an actual Plymouth Rock that people remembered.
Yeah, who's gonna authenticate that?
I remember Plymouth Rock because I've seen it. So you're wrong, Jeremiah.
That's true. That's a good point.
They just found it. They just were like, "What's the small? How can we ruin every child's imagination of what Plymouth Rock?" Because you think of the Mayflower just like crashing upon this giant boulder, and it's like, and then you go to Plymouth and you look down at Plymouth Rock and you go, "I have bigger rocks in my backyard."
And also,
Yeah.
like, are we supposed to believe that like they just rode the boat up to it and then stepped off onto that specific rock that a building is built around? And then someone remembered that and came back later and was like, "We're going to build a museum to this one day." Not like,
Yes.
"Oh my
Yeah.
Probably
gosh,
knew it was
land! I'm
Plymouth
so
Rock because there
secret."
was Native American blood on it. Maybe some smashed maize.
Mm.
You guys want me to read you this?
Yes, please
I can
read.
try
Read me
to
a
read
story.
this piece of legislation.
Well,
So
really
it's.
quick before you do that, bolo ties were invented in the 1940s. Everything you thought you knew was a lie. All right, continue.
Are
Ooh,
you
That's
sure
really
that
the
that
preamble to my era of cowboydom.
That's true.
that make yeah.
Because
They were invented, and John Wayne went, "I like that," and then that's the rest is history.
I'm a
Excellent.
rhinestone cowboy, and I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me.
I
Rhinestone
mean, you
cowboy
literally
is like
are.
a
You've got,
euphemism.
2 monitors worth of lights in your face. So,
Huh. I
congratulations, you
rest
made
my
it.
case, cowpoke. Okay, so penalty for keeping Christmas, 1659. This is real weird English, all right, so I'm going to work on it.
ye old English?
For preventing disorders arising in several places within this jurisdiction, by reason of some still observing such festivals as were superstitiously kept in other countries, to the great dishonor of God and offense of others, it is therefore ordered by this court and the authority thereof, that whosoever shall be found observing any such day as Christians or the like, either be forced bearing of labor, feasting, or any other way, upon any such account as foresaid, every person, such person so offending shall pay Erie such offense five shillings as a fine to the county.
So it's if you
Can I give a
celebrate
harump?
Christmas. Yeah, if you celebrate Christmas, we'll fine you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
five
that's
shillings is
the
apparently like $50 today.
The
Man,
yeah.
original Scrooge.
I wish we
Yeah.
could bring back ticketing people who celebrate holidays too much. I actually really like that idea. July 4th is where I want to start.
Yeah, that's
We
a
can
great
Yeah, how
expand
about
place to
from
St.
there.
start.
Patrick's Day?
Oh,
That's
I
I
Yes.
second that. St.
that's
Patrick's
on my
Day.
list.
Yes, that's
That's the
always the one
most
that
annoying
catches me where I'm
holiday.
like, let's go out to eat or something, then we forget it's St. Patrick's Day because it's not an important holiday. And then people are out just ruining it.
Yeah, there's like chicks in like plastic Party City red orange wigs and like green sequins, and you're just like, go home, go away.
In Boston, everyone drinks green beer and flips over cars and sets them on fire.
I'm gonna say, like, it's just a
It's like,
sweaty white dude being like, "I puked green."
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's it's like the only thing that's probably great about me not being in the vicinity of Philly anymore is there's probably some fun activities going on over
Oh,
there
they
that I
go
would.
hard in Philly. Everyone just that's like everyone that's like the weird time of year where everyone just brags about having like 1/8 Irish in them and thinks that
I
that gives them an
know.
excuse to act like a total fuck for the entire night. It's
Yeah.
As opposed to normal when
Philadelphia's like
right.
North Florida.
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna
dude.
say, as opposed to how together Philly's keeping it the rest of the year.
Oh, I know, right? Say my dad used to work in Philly in a at a supermarket, and he always had some fun stories about like tackling people in parking lots who were shoplifting or like chasing people
The good
around
old
and
days, you
until
mean?
they what?
The good old days, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. When you
Now
could
you're
just tackle
instructed to
people
just
for
let
shoplifting.
people walk away with your product. You go, if you see
I
someone
know. See, you
shoplifting,
can't.
don't do
Yeah.
anything.
You bit. You
I
got
know,
a
I was
bit.
annoyed when I was in retail and they're like, "You can't do anything if you see someone putting something in their purse," because then they could be like, "Well, I'm putting it in my purse, so and then I'm gonna buy it," and you're supposed to believe them, but I don't believe anybody.
No, everyone's a liar. I worked at a shoe store in when I was in college for a little bit, and my boss, who was roughly my age and a really cool person, was working one day, and she just saw a kid hanging out by a certain section for too long. And as soon as he walked out the store, she ran over there and went through like all the boxes of shoes, and then finally opened one where the kid's old shoes were in the box and he had walked out with the new pair on. So she ran out of the store with
Oh.
the shoes, and he had like out right outside there was like, if you go to the right, there's like a Best Buy, and then to the left was like the rest of the mall. So apparently he went into the Best Buy. I don't know if he should have exited through the Best Buy, but I guess he was just biding his time for a little bit, and he started walking out right when my boss had run out into the hallway, and she saw him. And she like ran over and took his old shoes out and whipped him at him. She's like, "Give me my fucking shoes back!" And he's like, I'm sorry, don't tell." He like just like was afraid he was gonna get in so much trouble, so he took the shoes off and gave him back, and then just left. I was like, "That's fucking
Oh,
awesome."
wow.
I watched a guy run out of coals with a literal Grinch Who Stole Christmas stack of shoes in his arms, with like somebody trailing after him, and he dropped some, and then a truck sped up and he jumped like in the open door of the moving truck. It was
That's
pretty
so
fun to
good.
watch.
Shoplifters are so funny because it's like it's very in the moment. Like you plan it out. You're like you build up the audacity to actually give that a shot, but you walk away with unless you like get a fistful of jewelry, you walk away with like, yeah, maybe the shoes are like 120 bucks, but you're not the risk doesn't really match the reward for that, I don't think. I just feel like there's better ways to be a criminal than shoplifting.
I think it's driven not by liquid courage, but by gel cap courage.
It's driven by the immediate need to score, so you just, like,
Yeah.
have to figure out what
Well,
to do.
yeah. I remember in middle school, somebody told me that that they worked at American Eagle, somebody youth group, and they said that people would go into the dressing rooms and just put on like 20 shirts and just like walk out the store wearing all of them.
Yeah. I Kids do it. The idea of kids stealing is funny because it's like they just don't have money, and they're like they also know that there's no real repercussions for it. When you're under 18, you can just do it, and
Well,
then they
still,
just
they
say,
still kind of
"Don't."
they still fold when they're confronted. It's like they're all high and mighty until you say, "What did you do? I know you did something." You're just like, "Oh no!" Oh.
They're like, I didn't
So
do anything." They're like, "Then why did you just piss your pants in front of me?" And then like,
yeah, why are you wearing 2,000 t-shirts?
I wouldn't have cared about the repercussions from the store. I would have been terrified of the repercussions from my parents.
right? Oh
Oh,
my
I
god.
know.
It wouldn't matter what the authorities can do to me. I have to go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
You could
idea of
actually be
responding
sentenced
to
to death.
getting caught like shoplifting is wetting like 4 pairs of pants at once, though, is pretty funny.
I I stole something exactly once. I was like 7 and we were actually at the house of one of my dad's employees, and they had these like decorative turtle shells out by their mailbox. Looks
Mm.
better than that sounds. They're like old turtle shells that have been cleaned and painted or something. And it
So
was
we
technically
collect
stealing. Yeah,
crappy turtle shells, so
exactly. Uh but it was no, not like a painted turtle, like a turtle shell that they had painted. I could have been more specific there
okay.
because painted turtles are a thing, aren't
And
they?
these
Yeah,
were all turtles that died from
Yeah.
getting straws stuck up their noses, right?
probably,
Mm.
probably. And so, I was 7. I don't think I was consciously trying to steal something. I just liked it, and I picked it up and brought it home. And when my mom found out, of course, I got a spanking, and then I had to wait until my dad got home, and I got a stern talking to from him. And then he drove me back to their house. And at the age of 7, I had to present it back to them and give them an apology for
Oh my
stealing from them,
gosh.
and that worked. That was it. Like from the age of 7, I was like, I'll never do this again. This is the worst experience of my entire life.
When I
Dude,
was
the
in
Ooh.
when I
forced
was
apology is brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I
I
had to
was
anticipate
yeah.
it all day long too. Like I stole it like late morning, and so it was all afternoon. I'm just walking around the yard thinking about like the rest of my life is over.
Yeah, you're done for, dude. When I was in high school, the only other person I dated for a very short period of time before, my wife was, I knew a girl through youth group who brought her friend who I was like, I don't even know if I really liked her. I was just a child, and I knew that she liked me, and I was so, like, homeschooled and desperate that
That's
I
a
think
classic.
yeah, anyone who's like, "They like you," I'm like, "Then I like them too." Ah! You just go for it. So we hung out at the mall a couple times, whatever. Went to like a school dance with her. I can't imagine this was more than like a few week thing, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe at most. Unless I don't know, I could be remembering it for less time, as less time than it was. But
The honeymoon period was
yeah,
over.
we went. Jesse, my buddy Jesse was actually there. I wonder if he remembers this. We went to the mall, and I think we were at a Hot Topic, and there was like a pin there that it was like, oh, that pin's sick. And she's like, just take it. And I'm like, I'm not taking. And she's like, she took it. She just put it in her pocket, and then we left. And she like, I couldn't take it. I was like, I can't. It's stolen merchandise. I can't take that. Like I
I
was like,
wouldn't
it
have
kind of like
either. I'd be like,
it like
"No."
I felt like it was like I don't know, like a diseased blanket that you just like. I'm not touching that. Like you just
It's contaminated.
yeah. I don't know what I thought would happen if I took it. I think Jesse might have taken it. Uh, I think he did because he had all the pins on his guitar strap and shit. I think he might have just added it to that, and I was like, I don't know. It was like if stealing the Ark of the Covenant. You're just like, I'm not supposed to have this. And
Yeah,
even considered. I was like, do I still like this person? Like, but of
I
course, my
wouldn't have,
desperate
I
me was
feel.
like, yes, of course, I need this in my life at this point. I need this validation that I'm not gonna be alone forever. That this is maybe something that is well, I don't know. I'm losing my words. It's like that first time of like dating someone. You're like, okay, this can happen. This is something that
It's
can
a
happen in
red
my
flag.
life. And but man,
It's a
that
warning
was
sign.
Yeah.
I
that was
mean, sure, she
tough.
might be a criminal, but she's paying you positive attention.
Right.
So
Yeah. So I had to balance it out. You know.
Man,
And
I
then
think
after a
my sense
few,
of pride overruled everything.
Yeah, and then after a few weeks, I essentially got dumped, so it was whatever.
Wait, essentially
Yeah.
got that feels like there's probably an important distinction there.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it was just weird. We just had very different friends groups. It was just kind of like, this isn't a thing, but it, yeah, I shouldn't say. Okay, I did get dumped. Essentially, it was a weird word to add in there, but
Well, I was
I'm
wondering, it was
seeing
like
someone else, a guy from Driver's Ed.
yeah,
yeah, when I was like 12 and got dumped by my 12-year-old girlfriend, it was like her calling her friend to call one of my friends to tell me. Like I figured you meant something like that. Where like I guess I
no.
got dumped.
Hey, respect to her. She's the one that was just like, I don't think this is like gonna. I don't think we should keep doing this. I was just
yeah, at
like,
She's
least
like,
she didn't ghost you.
yeah,
she's
I
like,
was like,
I'm
okay.
going
Cheat on
away
you.
for a
I mean, I
while.
wasn't like, oh, I knew it was like, it was just one of those, you knew it wasn't gonna work. It was just like I said, different friends groups. We weren't. I don't know. It didn't mesh that well. But I was just. I would never have called anything off. I was just so thankful that someone was interested in me.
Yeah.
I was such a fucking simp about it. But
You know, I was
it was.
also never I was always the dumpy, never the dumper.
Yeah, and it's not because
So,
you didn't know it should end, it's because you were just you couldn't accept the fact that you weren't with somebody and you were
yeah, I'm
just
just like,
gonna
I'm
be
never gonna
yeah,
have
yeah,
anyone pay attention to me again.
yep. So, I guess we were I was the April in my relationships, or you were the
Yep.
Sam in yours, so I get it.
Either way.
I feel like there'd be a good podcast series about what has low self-esteem made you do, and then
Yeah.
it's just interviews of people
Ooh.
who are like married
I
to
think a
serial
lot of that
killers
would
and
end the
stuff.
same, and it would be very sad.
It
I
would be
know.
I have
pretty
a lot.
sad.
It made me write terrible songs.
Yes.
Now, I don't. That's not how I would classify your songs that I've read.
You
I
haven't read
think
any
they're
of them.
very fun.
Have I read you any of them? I don't think I have.
You
Visible
didn't read them
Boyfriends.
because you sang them, serenaded him.
I never wrote any tunes. I could only write the words. I could never think of melodies.
Did they
So,
became poison written lyrics?
oh, I wish.
That's where
Casey
Casey
wouldn't
borrowed
write
all
songs
yours.
about me.
Casey's
It's
like,
like,
I'm
this
not
is
good at writing
intended to be
lyrics.
slam poetry.
I mean, I almost had a song about me, but it wasn't a nice one. But not by Casey. But Casey
Oh,
didn't write
yeah.
me songs.
Wow.
No, I didn't write anyone's songs, so there was that.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
Casey was just the sex pot front man. He just propped
That
up there to-
bubble, baby. Everyone wanted to spank you when you turned around and prayed with your band.
No,
I
Sam, I
know.
don't think everyone wanted to.
Everyone wanted to.
That's a
I had
very
to swat
specific
away
anecdote.
so many flies.
Okay,
What
so
do we have left here? Because we got some
Jumping
other
back
shit to
in.
do too.
yes, okay. So this is super interesting, and I think this is one of the greatest Christmas stories ever. Okay, so it's like led me to this like Wikipedia page where it's talking about like Christianity and Christmas and how they interact and stuff. And it says prior to the Victorian era, Christmas was primarily a religious holiday observed by Christians of the Roman Catholic, Anglican, and Lutheran denominations. So it said the Puritans, on the other hand, which the Puritans, everything about the Puritans makes them sound horrible.
Oh yeah, they were basically their entire disposition was, oh, the Catholics do that, we don't. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was their entire life. Was like, oh, they celebrate that, we're gonna do something different.
Oh man, you nailed it so hard. Okay, so it says the Puritans, on the other hand, objected to Christian feast of Christmas during the English interregnum when England was ruled by a Puritan parliament. Puritans sought to remove elements they viewed as unbiblical from their practice of Christianity, including those feasts established by the Anglican Church. In 16
Unbiblical, aka Catholic. Yeah.
right. In 1647, the Puritan-led English Parliament banned the celebration of Christmas, replacing it with a day of fasting.
Oh my god. What a bunch of fucking
Here come the
losers.
Puritans.
and
Always fun.
considering it a quote popish festival with no biblical justification and a time of wasteful and immoral behavior.
Like eating.
No,
Puritans.
gluttony. It's gluttony.
Eating, but you enjoy it too
Oh,
much.
right.
Eating, but it brings you happiness, which is a sin.
Yeah, you put a
No
little
senseless merriment.
sugar that you got from a slave labor plantation in your yellow mush for the day, since it's Christmas and all.
I mean, happiness is like a gateway drug to laziness. Everyone knows this.
So
Yeah.
true.
You're sounding pretty
Obviously.
puritanical. Puritans dislike traditions that inverted social hierarchies, such
Oh,
as
there it is.
wage
Oh,
sailing,
the
in which
opposite of Jesus.
the rich were expected to give to the poor on demand, and which with the addition of alcohol, sometimes turned into violent intrusions. Which that
That's
I
fair.
would love to see that
What?
YouTube video.
Well, it's like, all right,
Just-
the Puritans, they're not wrong. I mean, you can invert the social order, give people a bunch of alcohol. Yeah, it probably got violent, but
Probably got
Yeah.
awesome.
but they're saying
It's
that
like
like
a
it's a
punk
bad
show
on
at
thing.
that
people.
point.
Yeah,
Sounds loud.
it does.
Mm-mm.
Protests followed as pro-Christmas rioting broke out in several cities, and for
Pro
weeks,
Christmas rioting.
Canterbury was controlled by the rioters, who decorated doorways with holly and shouted royalist slogans. So it's like
It's like the Red
what was
Sox winning the World Series in Boston.
This would be an amazing Christmas comedy movie. I can't believe no one's done this yet. The Christmas riots, pro Christmas
I know.
rioters, like decking the halls. Oh, I guess that's what you have to call the movie.
what was
There's-
the like the emancipated zone in Seattle that
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Not the DMZ. The
District 9.
yeah.
it wasn't District 9.
So this is the book,
Oh,
The Vindication of
Chaz.
Christmas.
Okay, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Sorry, Chaz.
Oh yeah.
Chaz.
That worked,
classy.
dude. That worked for 3 days, and then people got shot. Like it literally took 3 days to turn into Thunderdome. But you remember they had like their own guards, like armed guards that they stationed outside the zone, and there was like a couple of white nationalists, dude, that tried to roll up on Chaz with weapons, and they got lit up. I don't remember the story like all the way, but I remember like it was a couple of like loser Proud Boy types or something like that. They tried to roll up in there in their car with like weapons and stuff, and they just got torn up by these like quote unquote security guards.
That's pretty sick.
If only it was on
Excellent.
Christmas, it would have been just a little bit better.
I know.
So basically, yeah, there's like a whole story behind that. It was kind of like part of the second phase of the Civil War or something like that in England. I don't know the history
was
well,
like-
but
Called the Plum Pudding Riots.
the Plum Pudding Riots, is that not the best thing you've ever heard?
That's so good.
That is the most English thing I've ever heard.
Man. So yeah, that is the real war on Christmas, and people like this jerk off, whatever his name is.
Why was it called
Torba?
the plum? Did the poors eat plum pudding? Is that why it was called
It's like
the
a
plum pudding?
Christmas
Right?
food.
But was it
a-
for poor people? Because it's the whole like flipping class upside down. Was that like something that like
Oh,
poor people ate, or is that?
I'm sure
wouldn't
like
think-
figgy pudding was something that you would kill like a rich Englishman to get, because it was some
Yeah,
sort of
maybe
delicacy.
maybe the rich ate the fig pudding and then the poor people ate the plum pudding. I don't know.
What is
That could
happening
be.
with Jeremiah right now?
Did you fall down off your chair?
No, I was just dropping my desk down into sitting. Sorry, I was trying to do that
Dude.
without making it a whole thing.
Well, I was
His
gonna make
nerd's rope of a spine is starting to ache.
Yeah, you were.
That is basically. I was
It
standing
looked like
because it was
your
hurting.
bike was rising up into the air, but you were actually just lowering.
Sorry, I was trying
Oh,
not
it's
to
a
be obtrusive.
standing desk.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a standing.
he's
I was standing
special.
I
because
see.
my back was hurting too much to sit earlier, so I was like, I'll start the
Say, I
podcast.
I should probably sit with one of those harnesses on, because like I'm just like, man, why does my back hurt? And then I sit at the computer like this, and I sit at my sewing machine like this.
Yep, Yep.
all
And
hunched
I'm
over.
supposed to do anything but lean forward and like put
You're supposed to
sheer load
lean
on my
back.
spine. Yep. And that's most what I do is like lean forward and curl my back like rounded
Yeah.
over terribly.
Take a page out of
You
Fat
got
This
Joe's book.
some sort of like
I
contraption
got
where
that
you
reference.
hang by your head in the closet
I
at
had to
night,
make
like
sure.
Steve Urkel trying to get taller.
I mean, that's what
Oh my
traction
gosh.
is. Like they are actually doing that where they put me on a table and they strap you down and then they just pull your back.
Oh, that
Like
sounds
I'm
Dude,
up
I
amazing.
would
to
love that.
I'm up to an
I would
inch and a
love
half
that.
at a time. Like they're pulling it for like 10 minutes.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Doesn't that
Will
just
that make
it's
me
break
but
you in half?
taller? Because
An
it'll I
inch
mean
and a half
it'll
would be life changing for me.
well no,
no, I
no,
need I
Casey,
need like
He's like, I
hold
would
on.
2
finally get
inches
the
on my
respect I
in
deserve.
All right, I back up. They have not made me an inch and a half taller. They're pulling me an inch and a half at a time. Like
That's
they're
still a
stretching.
Okay.
lot.
It is, but like it's not like a permanent height extension. I don't think I'm doing a
Okay.
good job
No, you're
explaining.
doing a great job explaining it. It just doesn't feel like humans have an extra inch and a half in them to stretch without something snapping. That's all.
That's true.
Well, I don't know. Casey and I was talking about the medieval torture, about how the stretching table would feel really great for
Yeah,
about
what
10
was that
Yeah,
one
the
seconds.
called?
rack.
The
It was
rack,
the
The
Yeah.
yeah.
rack.
rack.
The rack
Yeah.
I
and
want
rack
that in my
willies.
house. Just like,
Rack, Willie.
oh
It
my
does
gosh.
it does feel really good.
time.
When I leave though,
And
it does
no.
feel really good every time I finish an appointment where like my back is sore for a day or two after that, but like I definitely feel a little taller. Like it feels like everything is just better.
Oh, I need to try this.
Oh man, Sam, I think you have faithfully secured the obscure reference of the episode thing with Rack 'em
I
Rack
don't know.
Willie.
I don't know if I'll ever live up to your standards for obscure references, but I appreciate that. All right, where are
I
It's
we at
like
in
tip
the
my
most of
hat
story?
and I adjust my bolo tie to you.
well, that's most of
Okay,
me and Casey's conversations.
yeah. So that was that was that was the gist of the story. But I feel like that the plum pudding riots were the actual war on Christmas, and people like
Mm.
Andrew Torba, this jerk off, it's basically stolen valor to count himself as a part of the war on Christmas.
What I think is funny about it is that like that actually would work for their agenda a little bit if they wanted it to. Like there was an actual war on Christmas of people not wanting you to celebrate Christmas. And they didn't
Yeah.
want you to not celebrate Christmas. I mean, it had nothing to do with like any of the Christian aspects of the holiday, but still you can make that work. Like that is a ripe opportunity that they're just ignoring to go after like Starbucks for the 15th year in a row.
Yeah. Like, oh, again? All right.
I think stolen valor is the best way to. I mean, he's trying to reignite these ideas that are as old as our country, and it's just sad that he doesn't have. You know what? I think it's sad that none of us have that grasp on American history because we're all pointing fingers at this Torba guy, being like, "What an idiot," and he is. But we probably all have the same. We probably had a pretty like equal understanding of Puritan history and Christmas because I had no idea they didn't celebrate it and that they were actively against it. But it is, I mean, it is a safe bet to go when the Puritans arrived. If the Catholics did it, they hated it. And so they just rolled with that through everything until they eventually lost the culture war.
Like, you can still have fun. You can fast.
Yeah.
I would feel
Yeah.
very sorry for the first high school history teacher to be like, "Hey kids, today we're going to learn the Puritan history of Christmas in like some small town community," and wait for the first kid to go home and tell it to their parents.
Yeah, you'd have a bunch of Christians finally being like, we can't teach Christian history in schools. They'd change their tune completely.
Well,
Speaking of Christian history,
are we ready to get on to the main event?
the main event. This is
I'm
honestly
so
beautiful.
excited for this. So
Introduce it.
I was sitting around thinking about, what's some fun things that we could do on the show. And I thought, man, I bet you there's just tons and tons of like Christian play scripts and stuff online that you can download. It's like somebody's ministry to write like puppet dialogue and post it for free so you can torrent
for
it.
my
But
for my puppet ministry that I
there
Yeah.
used
there
to.
actually was a section on the website that I found this on that was like puppet plays.
Were any of
Yeah,
you all in puppet ministry at your church?
Yeah,
Not at my church.
I went to a
On my
conference,
mission trip.
motherfucker.
Oh, a conference. Okay, I didn't go to a conference, and I didn't do it on a mission trip, but I did complete the training program and get a certificate. I faithfully
Whoa,
served
dude.
for several
You
years.
minored in puppetry?
You were able to just do the timing for the mouth good.
Well, you're doing it wrong, Sam, because I see
No,
the
it's
top of your hand going
go
up, and
open.
it should just be
You have to do
the
it
thumb.
on the bottom, right?
Yeah, it should just be the thumb.
You
Yeah,
can't
April and I
just
Because
do
the
remember.
the
bottom
thumb.
of the mouth is the one that opens.
can't
Like when
Exactly,
you talk,
exactly.
you're not like, I'm not gonna do
Sam's forgotten.
It's not.
April and Jerry
This
are
is
classically
insanity.
trained.
Yep.
You know, I hate
Very
it when you
useful
call
in
me that.
daily life.
Also, I just noticed my thumb pops now when I do this, so that's another fun part of my 30s, I guess. My thumb's not in
Ooh,
good enough shape
yeah.
to be a puppeteer.
I can feel a tendon getting angry at me down here.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, aging. Sorry,
Dude,
Casey. So you were in the
you're
puppet
gonna
section of the
stand
lake.
up from your chair after this discussion, and it's just gonna sound like a bag of marbles being dumped on the floor.
I'm
Gosh.
100% going to be going to the living room to do my PT exercises and then lay on the couch. That's absolutely what's happening.
That sound, Casey, is all of his vertebrae falling out of his asshole.
I make Casey crack my back like 2 times a day, and it sounds like that every time.
Yeah, she's broken too.
Yeah. Crackly.
All right.
So, all right. So today's theatrical performance is called A Super Christmas, and it was written by Vanessa Unti. She is a student at Western Washington University and the youth minister at Christ the Servant Lutheran Church in Bellingham, Washington.
That's a Puritan sounding church name if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, it
Did it say
does.
what year this is from?
Hated the Lutherans.
I think this is fairly recent, at least given some of the like subject matter.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's no. I can't. And this is all. Casey, I think you're the only one who's familiar with what we're about to go through. Everyone else is reading it on the fly.
Yes.
I've seen the first couple lines, but that's it.
Same.
Okay, so let's just go through the cast real quick because we're all doing multiple characters here.
Wait, did you explain what it was?
It's a Christmas
Well,
play.
yeah, and it involves it's there's you gotta kind of meet the kids where they're at, and what do kids like? Kids like superheroes, right? So this is about the Justice League or the Super Friends or whoever. It really isn't like derived by delineated by Marvel or DC. They kind of just threw everybody into a mixing pot here. So this is like the Marvel versus Capcom of Christmas plays.
Yeah, it's a mix of worlds. It's definitely not licensed appropriately.
No.
Yeah, and they are preparing for. They're basically finding out about Christmas.
Yeah.
So playing the role of Superman will be me.
Of course, you
Wonder
gave yourself
Woman.
that role.
Superman's
Wonder Woman.
definitely the worst superhero by far. So, no, there were some pretty lame ones back in the day.
There's some
I was
pretty
gonna say,
awful.
there's a
Remember,
lot of-
Ant-Man is a superhero, so
Do you
Yeah.
remember the Wonder Twins?
No.
Oh my
it always
gosh.
gets worse.
they were pretty lame. Okay, so I will be Superman. Wonder Woman will be played by April. Spider-Man will be played by Sam.
Nice. I've always wanted to play Spider-Man with my friends.
Hulk will be played by Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hulk smash. Batman will be played by Sam.
Who are you? How's that?
Vengeance. That's terrible. Sorry. I'll never do that again.
Catwoman will be played by April, as well
dream.
as Mary, the mother of our Lord.
Oh.
Hey, dude, this is getting good. All right.
I will be. Yeah, there's crossover here. So
this is
I will
some
be
fanfic style shit, really.
I will be playing the role of Joseph because I'm not willing to put strain on my marriage by letting one of you play Joseph.
You get to
How
be
about that?
Joseph and Superman. Dude, that's pretty narcissistic of you to give yourself those roles.
I stacked
Well,
the
you
deck in
get to
my
be
favor.
Batman, who's I think the coolest superhero.
Yeah.
He's right up there for sure.
It's every man's fantasy: unprocessed trauma and being really rich.
And then beating people up in your
Yeah.
spare time
Grappling hook.
without any accountability.
That's
Yeah,
my
exactly.
dream.
Beating people up or the grappling hook?
Yes, without any repercussions.
I gave you a pretty cool part. You get to be shepherd number 1.
Okay.
I will
I
also be
better see
shepherd
Christ
number
first.
2. You're like the bad employee shepherd.
Aw.
And Jeremiah will be the voice of an angel.
Oh, that makes
Aw.
Who's voicing
Who has
Trump?
the lips of an angel?
Trump.
Ah.
We'll just assume that the angel is actually Trump.
Okay, great.
He's
I can't do a
watching
good
over
Trump
even
voice.
then.
I'm sure there is a Christmas play script available online that has Trump as a prominent character in it. Like, I'd be willing to bet money.
There's got to be.
Oh my
At least a bad Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
So it says there's a huddle of superheroes. They create a everybody got their script ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready
Yes.
to
to
go.
clarify, are we doing voices?
You better
Yeah,
do.
we're
it.
doing
Yeah.
voices.
Okay, all
Oh
right.
no.
I already
All
tried
right.
out my Batman.
And are we
Casey-
pausing for color commentary, or are we trying
We're-
to do this as a pretty straight read?
We
We're,
can for poignant commentary, we can pause.
If there's anything this podcast is good at, it's staying on track and being time
Yeah.
sensitive.
Yeah, we're great at that. It's also we're gonna, before we read this little script here, we're gonna pause for a quick pee break.
Oh, you prick.
I gotcha.
Well, he's not going
I
in his
know how much
pants,
you
so
hate
that's
that.
good.
I know. I'm not using one of my
That's
I'm
true.
not using one of my empty beer bottles.
Yeah, I don't
this
hear
time.
the sound of aluminum, of water hitting
Wow.
aluminum.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Oh my god,
Yes.
I'm super ready.
Super.
So there yes, aptly. There is a huddle of superheroes. DSC. I don't know what DSC is. It's in
Yeah,
here
I have no
several
idea.
times.
I don't know
They
if anyone knows. I think the creator thinks that's what like DC is.
That could be.
DC Comics.
They create a semicircle and are busily talking loud and frantic. All right,
Loudly.
me as Superman. Order! Order! I call this meeting of superheroes to order. The group is quieted with groans.
Nah.
As some of you have heard, there is a rumor going around that a new superhero is coming to Earth. They say that he is coming to save the world and that he receives his power from the big G-O-D.
I've heard the same thing. What does this mean? We save the Earth. We have been here for years. What does this guy think he's doing? That's me as the Hulk, I guess.
Nice job.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Hulk. We probably should announce that at some point.
I thought it was
Who we
obvious.
are.
Okay.
I think it's obvious, but April's about to come in as Wonder Woman, and she's gonna have to delineate between Wonder Woman and whatever other voice she's
And
doing.
Catwoman.
So, all right, so figure it
I
out,
know.
April.
I'll make them both sound like bimbos. Who cares? Unless you want to make one of them really southern.
Do one Southern
Hey,
and
go
do
for it.
one like ditzy as fuck.
Okay, fine. I'll do Wonder Woman ditzy and Catwoman can be Southern lady. Okay. Do we even know who this guy or woman is? Doesn't he know that that's our job?
I have heard that this God guy means real business. Shit.
This is Batman speaking.
It is.
Batman.
Apparently, he has a connection with all of us. He says he loves the world so much that he is going to give his son. This new superhero is here to save the world from the villain, Sin.
Which, to be fair, does sound like a Batman villain.
I'm gonna have to kill myself when this is over.
You really channel Christian Bale Batman, which I
yeah,
appreciate.
that's the what other Batman is there? Come on, man.
But then
Now you have to make a quick transition. This
Oh,
is like
shit. All
this is like metalcore going from screaming to singing.
Yeah. I feel I'm trying to. I just played 60 hours of Spider-Man 2, so I should be able to channel some level of
Be
Peter
a
Parker.
sticky young boy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Casey's favorite.
He's very
Now my
sticky.
emphysema is acting up.
It's gonna take 3 years to read this.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I know. We're going to be here all night. This is the closer, so if anyone gets tired of it, they can just disappear, I guess. Who is this Sin? I don't know this. No, that sucks. Fuck you. Peter. That's not good, Peter. I- I'll do my best. Who is this sin? I don't know this evil villain. Catwoman. Is he one of your arch nemesis?
Okay. Okay. No, I don't know him, but I know that I could take him down and probably better than this new guy.
I don't think they know anything about the character of Catwoman.
I don't. No, they
Catwoman's a
don't.
thief. I don't think she has arch nemesis.
I don't think she takes people down. I mean, she covertly takes them down. You know?
Yeah, she
But does-
wasn't
or
a
she just
super friend.
steals. Yeah, she just steals from them. It's fine.
Can you throw in a meow here and there?
Ugh.
Oh,
Meow.
Casey, you're a pervert now. Superman's always been kind of a pervert.
A little bit. X-ray vision.
Yeah,
Ugh.
sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's calm down, everyone. We don't know if this guy is going to take our jobs. He might be here to help us, as well as the rest of the world.
Well, I don't need any help. Did you see me crush that bad guy last week? I saved a bus full of school children with one hand. That's not the same voice I did last time, is it? I don't remember what I did.
It's in the same
Well, it's
vein.
versatile.
Yeah, we'll roll it. Batman raises a hand for a high five. I did see that man. You were awesome, but I think that next time you could.
Whoa, slow down, guys. Let's focus on this new guy. We can share our glory stories later. She's like a grandma.
Do we know when this new guy is supposed to show up? I feel like that was much better, Spider-Man. Still not good, but
Oh.
that was better than before.
Sticky boy enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I've heard as early as Christmas Day. That's tomorrow.
No way. Christmas can't be tomorrow. It's really Christmas Eve?
Yes, Hulk, tomorrow. I think the muscles are cutting off circulation to your brain.
That was a Catwoman response.
This means we have to act fast.
I think he's playing the Lego Batman voice, I'm pretty sure.
Job. I mean, Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Oh
to
my
find
gosh.
this guy, learn what his weaknesses are, and find out his enemies. Oh, what if he has a sidekick? We have so much to do.
Well, then, we better start tracking this big guy down. And the superheroes exit.
I must be peaking when I do Batman. There's no chance that
No,
I'm
you're
not.
you're
Doesn't
pulling away
sound
from
like
the
it,
mic.
actually.
I mean, the
to me.
waveform looks a little peaky, but I don't know. How would you tell? It's Batman's voice. It'll be fine.
It's gonna be straight
Sam's-
feedback.
Sam's waveform always looks like this for some reason.
Yeah.
It looks like a 9.5 on the Richter scale.
Oh
every
my
time.
gosh.
I think it's just your mic. It just picks up a lot.
Okay. How should I do Mary? Should I do Mary really annoying or Mary like weak and or not weak, like
Oh.
meek? That's what I mean. Or should I make her be like a Karen? Just kidding.
And maybe like
mm.
smoking pregnant lady at the DMV.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Like
I don't know if I can
gravelly
do that.
vocal fry.
Oh yeah, do the
no.
ASMR vocal fry.
Oh, like a Kardashian voice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so she's gonna be a ditz as well. So okay, fun. All right, Mary and Joseph walk. I think it's like stage right or something. Something stage right. DSR.
Oh, maybe. I'll look that up.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds right.
Kind of
I
was
think
thinking
it
like
must
the
be.
direction. Okay. I am so tired. Can we just book a room somewhere? I'm so tired of this walking thing.
Oh, only a bit further, love. I'm sorry that
Oh.
the Holiday Inn was full, but I don't know we would be traveling this deep into the holiday season.
Don't get huffy at me. I didn't ask if I wanted to flee my home or if I wanted to become the mother of God's son.
Oh, yes, dear, I know. How did this happen again? You were so frightened when you
Again?
came to me.
This is the second time you've been pregnant with God's son.
This I'm feeling like cuckold from Duluth.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
gonna say
gosh.
South Dakota or Canada. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes.
Well, an angel came from God to me in Nazareth. He told me to get excited because God chose me to bear his son. I'm to call him Jesus. I was so scared, but then the angel said, "Do not be frightened. for this means God will always be with me. I'm still nervous and unsure about this whole thing. What if I'm not right? What if I'm not going to be a good mother to God's son?
We still have 4 more. We've done 2 of 6 pages.
We're
of
doing
this.
great. We're doing great.
Go pick it up, Steve. And God's giving her the same pitch that like Chris D'Elia gave chicks he was trying to like. He was like,
She was about the
it's a
same
real
age,
honor to
too.
go backstage. Mary, 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 stop your worrying and breathe. God chose you for a reason, you know. And he chose me as your husband for a reason. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself. And then the superheroes swarm from
Understage left.
Stage left.
under stage left. Looking under things, behind things, under cloaks,
Under
etc.
cloaks.
Other
Ew.
cloaks
Just looks under Mary's cloak,
cloaks that are
Joseph's
hanging
cloak.
up places.
Batman
or-
definitely did that. The world's greatest detective. Well, we haven't found him yet. This superhero sure knows how to hide himself. Or maybe he is in disguise.
The Hulk, it says, lifts a large object, i.e. house. And I hate to be pedantic, but it should be e.g. house.
Yeah.
But so I guess he ruined someone's home. I've turned over everything, and he sure isn't hiding under anything.
Hulk, put that down. Do you really think the man who saves the world would be hiding under a house?
This sucks
Oh,
so
sorry.
bad.
Anyway, I'm tired of looking. Maybe he has a weakness like tuna or catnip. Or those little squeaky mice. Or those darn little balls of light that you never can catch.
Whoa, down, kitty.
This is so-
Casey, I don't think I've ever hated you more.
This is your shining moment. You're by
I know.
far doing the best.
Yeah, you're
I
really
know.
crushing it, Sam.
Oh my god. We don't know that stuff yet. Maybe these fine people have heard something about him. I'll go ask. Batman starts walking. Then Superman puts out his arms and strides ahead.
Ugh. Superman
Excuse
wouldn't do that.
me, you fine citizens, but do you happen to know of a new superhero?
A new superhero? No. Joseph, have you?
I gotta say, I'm a little shocked. No way. Are you
Whoa,
really
off script.
Superman? Oh my goodness, and Wonder Woman and the Hulk and
Oh, get a hold of yourself. No, we haven't. Do you know of a place we could stay? Apparently all the inns are full.
I know a man down by the road who has a nice stable. You could ask if he knows of a place.
Spider-Man's getting better.
Oh, I'm still just so shocked. Wow, you guys are all my heroes. You save the world like every day. And you're here right now. It says
Yes, we
Script
know. We're
It says-
pretty
that's the-
powerful.
It says Joseph comes.
Does the
And all-
anime screech.
All the
For the
superheroes
first time.
begin striking fierce poses, so you can interpret fierce however you want there.
Wonder Woman.
That's it.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. Oh my, miss, are you pregnant?
You're not supposed to ask that.
Yes. I'm due almost any day. It may even be tonight. Oh, there's nothing better than a baby, says Catwoman.
Just like
Talking to
trading off
myself.
lines very quick. I think you delineated pretty well.
Okay.
Oh,
Excellent.
I hope we run into you again. I would love to hold your baby.
That sounds like a threat.
What?
100%.
Is there a baby around? Because I like holding them. I like holding them down.
Hulk, can you just do your line so Casey
Cut him off.
stops?
No, I'd like to hear Superman riff on this for a little bit longer. I want to hear where this is going.
Sometimes they squirm and sometimes they cry, but I just hold them down. I never let them up.
That's what we need to say next holiday at dinner.
So then the Hulk says, "Me too. I love to rock babies to sleep."
And you're sure you don't crush them?
Barry has some
Yes.
hair.
Yes, that would be nice. I'm sure I'll need all the help I can get.
You would come see us again? Oh, wow. And then I faint.
Do you know um, do you know if it's a boy or a girl? What are you going to name him? It's a boy, and his name shall be Jesus.
This is
Joseph
the
is
superheroes give
revived.
content size, and Joseph is revived.
Joseph's
Dude, Joseph
refractory
sucks so
period is
bad.
up.
Isn't it funny,
Wow.
like, even in this, like, watered down, terrible story, like, Mary's contempt for Joseph shines through.
Well, my feet are getting sore. I think that will give the man with the stable a try. Good luck with your search for this superhero.
Uh, uh-huh.
Congrats on your
There's
baby. I'm so excited for you. Good luck with the baby, says
baby.
everyone.
Don't forget, let
Baby.
me hold it.
All right,
Just
superheroes
says a
exit
hubbub
stage
of
left.
noise.
Time for the Shepherd boys to come in.
All right, shepherds. This is
right.
going
Dax
to be
Shepherd
really,
and Shepherd Smith.
really good.
Oh, so we got to draft new accents.
Ooh,
For the
what am I gonna
shepherds.
do? What am I gonna do?
I'm gonna be Tom DeLonge.
Oh.
Tom DeLonge Shepherd.
Hi. I'm gonna be Scott Stapp. Ooh, how do I do?
Is that Southern?
That was a bold move.
Yeah, what is Scott Stapp?
This job is so lame.
Oh, okay.
It's a musical. Great.
It is
Hey, I wouldn't complain. It's paying for your data plan for that fancy phone. Heaven forbid you couldn't text on the job.
Everyone's exiting right now.
Yeah, this bit's not going to get old. I mean, there's like 2 pages of this.
How long is this?
now. Tom
We're
DeLonge.
like 2/3 of the way.
Ah!
I walked into that one.
Oh, I think I ran into that one.
Long enough.
Like,
Ha ha ha! You think you're so funny? No, seriously, this job is so boring. Nothing exciting ever happens. I mean, all my friends work at Starbucks and get coffee for free. And what do I get? I get to watch Homer. My by night and shovel sheep poop. Gross.
Thank you.
where are they
Thank you for
shoveling
bailing
the
on
poop,
that.
though? They're pooping out in the field. Why do they need to shovel it? That's fertilizer.
Yeah, that is a valid
just
question.
let Scott Stapp do his ballads, okay?
Scott doesn't know anything about sheep.
But he knows everything about rock and roll, so just stay out of
I
his
guess-
way.
Well,
Oh, come on. It isn't that bad. It's clear night on Christmas Eve. Which it's also like it's
why is it
Jesus
Christmas
isn't
Eve if
born
Jesus
yet.
hasn't been born? Anyway,
I guess we're just a little preemptive.
is that
you could
proof
just
that it
stare.
was a pagan thing?
Yeah, that must be. It's a
Okay, anyway,
solstice or
sorry.
something.
I'm done.
You could just stare out into the black sky full of stars and really appreciate the wonder that God created. I don't think we can keep this bit going.
It's pretty
No,
tough.
it's taking you a really
would
long
be
time
very
to get
long.
these lines done.
Very Tom DeLonge
And I'm
to,
also
to
starting
keep
to get
that.
concerned for whether or not my entire family can hear what the fuck is going on in here.
I'm looking
And
forward
I'm
to hearing
getting a
you
little
explain,
self-conscious about it.
yeah, at work why you lost your voice. That'll
Yep.
be good. I was
Ugh,
playing the
you're
part,
one of, all right, we're gonna roll through
I was
this.
playing the part of a shepherd, Spider-Man, and Batman in a Christmas play online.
You're one of those God people.
Well, yeah, I guess I am. I mean, I don't know. I have heard that God is sending his son to save us from our sin.
There wasn't a
then-
single person during this time that wasn't a God person. Who's just the voice?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
Jeremiah.
voice because I think it's
Jeremiah's the
angel.
voice of the angel.
Oh yeah.
Mhm, you got that right.
Yes.
Shepherds cling to each other in fear and scream. Who is that? I'm trained in karate and I'm not afraid to use it. An
better
Eastern
question.
martial art that was had not made its way out to
Is he a
West
master
yet.
of karate and friendship to everyone?
Karate was invented in Louisiana by a guy with a rat tail, though, by the way. Better question.
Okay.
Where are you?
Casey, you can't be Tom DeLonge up till this point and then not where are you when you get to that line in the play. Are you kidding me? I thought you picked that voice because you
That's
saw
true.
this
I
line
should have
coming.
revived the bit for just a sec.
Where are you?
So
He's
a spotlight is supposed to shine down on our face from the kid who's too old for youth group, but he still comes for some reason. He's in the balcony doing the spotlight.
he's a
And we
sound
shield our
guy.
eyes.
I'm right
Right,
here.
guys.
Do not be afraid. I'm an angel from God. I bring you good news.
Sheesh. Lay off the glare. Miley Cyrus called, and she wants her sequined bodysuit back.
Miley Cyrus got nothing on my shine, brother. But I have to tell you that Jesus, the Son of God, was born tonight. Rejoice, Emmanuel, the Savior of the universe, is born tonight here in Bethlehem.
I like the added syllables to words. That's nice. That's a nice touch.
Yes.
You like the heavenly host angel baby Billy.
Oh my gosh. Is
Hey,
that
I
woman
think
going to
people
talk to
would
the
be,
angel?
people wouldn't be so scared when they get talking to angels if they just sounded like their waitress down at the Cracker Barrel.
Like they're on an episode of Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The disarming southern angel here to kill your firstborn.
Oh, that's
All
why I
that
wish
comes
I had a.
later.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness, are you serious? How exciting! Where is he? Can I go see him?
Yes, please do. Follow his star by night, and you'll find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes. All right, let me explain what following a star means. You look at that star, you're just going to walk towards it. You can't because it's up in the air, but imagine you're just going to, all right, here's a sundial. All right, let me explain how the sundial. No, all right, I'm going to bail out of the bit. Back over to you.
You're going off script, Jeremiah. I don't know what swaddling clothes mean, but I'm assuming when I see the baby, I'll know I'm in the right place. But what does this mean? Why is this baby such a big deal?
All right, so God sent his son Jesus so we could be forgiven of our sins. Not we, meaning me. I don't have to actually be forgiven. I'm an angel. You need to be forgiven of your sins. When we do bad things or make bad choices, we're sinning against God. When we sin, we're moving away from God. But God loves us so much that he's willing to send his only begotten son to us so that even when we do sin, we are forgiven. It's called grace. Isn't that great?
As the angel describes the opposite of grace in the previous few sentences. That's nice. That's a nice touch. Wow.
Grace is like when Superman does not hold your baby because we all know what happens then.
Or Hulk, when Hulk doesn't smash it. Wow, God's love is amazing. I know a congregation. Oh, that's you, Shepherd 2.
I know a congregation in Renton, Washington that that knows a thing or two about that grace thing. They have some crazy pastor always talking about it.
Man,
Oh
that
my
sounds like a
God.
reference. That sounds like a reference that would have just killed in the right company. All right, don't you worry. We know that congregation too, and that crazy Kirby guy. Don't worry, he's going to be
Kirby.
indicted on charges in the next 3 years. You just wait.
For it'll be for his activity. I'm prophesying on a it seems like a January 6th.
You mean
Dun, dun,
Pastor
dun.
Kirby that's not allowed to close his door?
He's not
I
allowed
don't-
on the internet no more.
I don't get how sending a baby is going to help, though. How is he going to stop me from sinning?
Oh, he's a real powerful baby. So you've seen all those superheroes, right? Well, imagine he's like more powerful than that. In fact, he's going to use the power of building a relationship with God. He will be a way for us to see God and know that he loves us. So no matter how far we try to move away from God, Jesus will be there to remind us that God will never give up on us. But seriously, get a move on over to the stable. That's the star right over there.
That's
And then the
fast.
light goes
Lights
out.
go out. And then the superheroes enter looking weary from their frantic searching. Excuse me, fine shepherds. Have you heard anything about a new superhero that is coming to save the Earth?
We've been looking all day for him. We're tired. Where is he?
We're scared he's gonna take our jobs.
You have to do that.
Sending the Son of God to Earth.
Germs.
Yeah, sending the Son of God to
South
Earth
Park
to
voice.
take our jobs.
Oh my word.
Whoa, first angel, now superheroes? Maybe this job isn't so lame after all.
I don't know anything about a new superhero, but did you hear that God's son was born tonight?
Wait, did you say God's son? That's our guy.
Whoa, 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 Hulk. We have not been searching for a baby. How could a baby save the world?
I don't really get it either, but we're just going to weirdly believe this and just go see. I just want to see the super baby God thing. Exit. Everyone exits.
Exit.
Jesus
Best
Christ.
line of the play. I just want to see this super baby God thing.
Yeah.
Everyone bear with us. This is page 6. If you're still listening,
This is it.
congratulations. If you're not, we will simultaneously all end this podcast in unison as soon as we're done.
Okay. The last scene, Mary says, "Oh, isn't he wonderful?"
Oh, I never knew that a baby was this wonderful. God has given us such a blessing. And then the
Superheroes
superheroes
storm in.
storm in. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Where's the baby?
Hulk,
All right,
Hulk
you
Want
rips
to see the
the
superhero.
baby?
Hulk picks up a donkey and just rips it in half. Where is he?
It's just
Shrek
gore
appears.
and viscera.
Donkey!
All right, you superhero, put your hands up. Nobody's taking my job. Let me
Yeah.
unhold you.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh my goodness, boys, settle down. Can't you tell there's a baby sleeping?
Well, yeah, but he is going to take our jobs, and. But he's so cute. Let me hold him.
Yes, he is. I didn't expect to see you guys again so soon. But what is this about my son taking your jobs? Well, we heard that Jesus is a new superhero coming to town, and that they say he's going to save the whole world from sin.
Coming to town, also known as immigration.
How dare he?
How dare
So
this
we thought that
immigrant
no
take
one would
my
need us
job.
anymore. But this is a baby, so we don't have anything to worry about, guys. I don't know how to
You're
make a
right.
Hulk cooing at the baby noise.
Who's at the baby?
I was getting tired. So, were they wrong? Is Jesus just a baby? Where is he?
Well, right now he is, but God has great plans in store for him. He will grow up and save us from our own sin.
We all heard about that. Shepherd 1's voice changes every time.
Scott Stapp's getting younger.
An angel came to us and told us not to be afraid because Jesus was born and he will bring us grace.
You know, you're starting to sound like one of those church people.
Whoa, I am. Well, could I maybe come to church with you sometime?
Yeah, I think I know just the place in Bumbleberg, Washington.
Bumbleberg. Perfect.
They got a crazy pastor.
Kirby.
He lets me hold babies.
Come on, Superman. We're almost done.
Oh, wait, is it my turn? Oh,
Yes.
hold on. So Jesus isn't going to take over my job? I still get to go out there and save people and hold
See you
that
again.
delicious baby? Of course, you could still go save people, but God sent his son so that we can be saved from ourselves and the sins we do. You ever do sin? I do sin all the time.
I do
guys.
sin in my pants every night.
Jesus is reminding us of God's love and how we can share it with others. So now, when you save people, you can tell them about Jesus' power and about God's unending love for us.
Wow. Okay. I think I could do that. Stop right there, mister. I will save you I will save you, innocent citizens, but Jesus will save you with God's love. I like it.
They're gonna be like, "Let me fall to my death, please."
Just stop talking. I'm so glad you all came to see Jesus, and now you will spread God's love. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm trusting God and his plan. This is a Merry Christmas.
And all God's people said,
Merry
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 Christmas
Christmas
and
and
God's
God's
peace.
peace.
Where is he?
Casey, you can just sync that up later, hopefully.
I want to see the baby.
So, thank
Very
you for
special Christmas
enjoying that
episode.
production of A
If you're still
Super
here, then you're
Christmas
special.
by Vanessa Unti, the youth minister at Christ the Servant Lutheran Church in Bellingham, Washington.
Are we comfortable calling this the first annual Growing Up Christian
Christmas special.
Christmas play?
The first
I don't know.
weekly growing up Christian Christmas play.
I'm
The
gonna
actual best Christmas pageant ever.
I'm gonna
literally
find this
drafting
woman.
like an advent calendar of crappy Christmas plays that we're gonna do every week.
Ooh.
You're a cruel god.
I'm gonna find Vanessa Unti on Instagram and tag her when we post this episode.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. If you like the show, leave us a review where you listen to it. And don't forget, we got a Discord where you can
Maybe don't
come.
encourage people to leave a review after listening to this episode.
Only 5
But-
stars.
5 stars.
I give Sam's Batman voice 5 stars.
Thank you. What about my Scott Stapp? 4, maybe 3.
I thought it was pretty accurate, but that in and
I don't
of
know who that
itself
is, but
lends
sure.
itself to poor star ratings.
Okay.
It's like the Amazon. I haven't opened this yet, but it seems okay.
And
5 stars.
if Jeremiah was the angel that came and told me that my wife was pregnant with somebody else's baby, I would trust and obey because there's no other way.
Oh, that was cute.
Join our
Aw.
Discord. Tell us about books that you're reading or music that you're listening to, or maybe the racist thing your grandma said at Thanksgiving that it was just it was a lot at the time and you had to
Yeah.
keep a straight face, but you know what? You did all right, and
Now you need to debrief with some fellow
Yeah.
people who understand what you're going through.
Because Christmas is coming, and it's only going to repeat itself again and again for the rest of the next couple years.
you know, a lot of nurses are black. Or at least that's what I'm told over and over again.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or having to answer the when do you guys popping out some babies? Only when I can have a super god
Yeah.
thing baby. That's it.
Only when
look 'em in the
Superman will
face and-
hold it.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this genetic line right here. I'm gonna do
Yes.
the right thing. The family's gonna walk off into the sunset.
We're done.
You know,
With a bolo tie.
I decide who ends this family line.
before we have a child that inevitably becomes a mukbanger.
Yeah, that's a risk. That's a huge risk. Like, what if they're an anime fan? Come on.
I mean, that's a pretty heavy overlap on the Venn diagram anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Name one
Yeah.
mukbanger that doesn't only exclusively watch anime and hentai.
You
Yeah.
can't have one without the other. Thank you for listening and have a good week.